schooled by Houston over the weekend. Bert Smith, Roger Ayers, Ray Natili are the officials here tonight. And off we go. Now, Kevin Young, Corey, BYU's head coach, said it. We have to come in with a hit-first mentality because we got punched in the mouth the other night.
And it's hard to play when you're on your heels. Offensively, you want to get that momentum, and there's a great back cut. They're going to get a couple of free throws, but to your point, they're the kind of team that needs to roll emotionally. They make that ball move, and they knock down shots, and they feed off of each other's energy. The opening minutes, very important to the Cougars.
And important to Demon as well. His third game back from the knee injury he suffered early in December. He's averaged 7 assists in the 2 games coming back to start Big 12 play. Knocking down the free throw here. His shot hasn't fallen, though, yet. Averaging just 3.5 points, 3 of 14 from the floor in those 2 games.
Well, all freshmen have the same issue. You got to clear their head and get them focused on just playing basketball, especially with a guy like him who's a projected lottery pick. He's got a lot of things going on, but he's got to settle in and just play ball.
You see the Texas Tech starting 5. They are getting healthy right at the appropriate time as Big 12 play starts. JT Toppin himself missed a few games at the end of non-conference. Their leading scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker, the New Mexico transfer. 7 to shoot. Williams on the drive. And a turnover.
The BYU Cougars come out in their 2-3 zone to stifle and slow down the one-on-one plays from Texas Tech. We'll see how long they can play an effective defense that way.
You see the BYU starting 5. Always multiple playmakers on the floor with Demon and Hall. Saunders had a career-high 30 the last time BYU played in this building. And freshman Cannon Catchings with the bucket for the Cougars.
One of those great tweener players, perimeter forward. You see him off the dribble.
Toppin couldn't bank it, but he is fouled. And so Kevin Young in year 1 with BYU, long considered a coach with a bright future, Corey. 6 years as a head coach in the G League, an assistant in the NBA the last 9 years. He was the highest paid assistant in the NBA last year with the Phoenix Suns.
Well, he's always been a head coach in waiting. You're talking about one of the top young coaches in college basketball, and talking to him before when I had him against Wyoming, he's got more time now to work with guys. In the NBA, you got 82 games, you got to get things in and out, but you can really settle in and dial in on the details, and I think that's one of the things he said. You have to slow it down a little bit because you got more time with the kids.
Toppin, the lefty, splits the pair. The foul was on Keba Keita, who grabbed the rebound. Young says he's going to experiment with some lineups today, adjust his substitution patterns. He wants to try a few things. Wasn't able to do it with all the injuries that popped up through the non-conference. Hall the kick. Catchings on the attack again, and he draws the foul. Well, Grant McCasland at Texas Tech is in year 2, and he says the #1 priority here tonight is absolutely rebounding. BYU, despite getting out-rebounded by 13 against Houston on Saturday, still one of the elite rebounding teams in the country.
Well, coaches know it's all about possessions, and you can't give a good shooting team multiple possessions. So the focus on defense and rebounding, it's a numbers game. The coaches will tell you that flat out. If we rebound the ball, shoot at a decent percentage, odds are we're going to get the dub.
Yeah, to your point, McCasland said we have to limit BYU's possessions in this building. We feed off this crowd. BYU has won 14 in a row here at the Marriott Center. Kevin Overton off the bench, and he misfires the Drake transfer, but Federico, an offensive rebound, and BYU takes it away. Demon downhill. Hall tees it up. And cleared by Overton. The lob, Federico, oh, he couldn't put it down. Man, he has lived at the rim the first 2 Big 12 games, couldn't finish there. And a foul in transition as Richie Saunders took it to the cup.
As for Texas Tech, you're going to see that multiple times tonight. He is a rim runner. They're not afraid to put it up there. That big fella can fly, and right there, they're not able to connect. But when you've got a big that runs rim to rim and is athletic like that, that's an easy 2 points. Unable to connect, but they will be trying that throughout the night.
Now, Federico, the transfer from Pitt, he's averaging 16 points over the last 3. There's a reason he shoots 80% from the floor. It's usually catching a lob and throwing it down.
You and I can shoot 80% from 2 feet away. At least I know I could. I don't know. I've never seen you hoop.
You're giving me way too much credit. Hall trying to get around Elijah Hawkins, the Minnesota transfer. Catching's a step-back 3. Way off. Keita, the offensive board. Shot clock didn't reset, and Keita is fouled. So the foul's piling up here for Texas Tech in the early going.
We talked about how important it was for BYU to be aggressive. And here you see Keita clearing out some space on the offensive board, going back up, creating some contact, and the free throw line has been a place for the Cougars early in this game.
Again, the hit-first mentality, it's not just on the glass for Kevin Young's team. It is also attacking offensively, right?
You've got to try to get downhill and put some pressure on Texas Tech, and that's what they're trying to do, going off the dribble. Some nice one-on-one plays. They've gotten fouled on some good plays.
Now, BYU 2 of 6 at the line so far. A 4-1 lead.
And right now, they're back in their man-to-man.
Hawkins off the screen, takes the step back over Saunders, and he drains the 3.
Too good of a shooter to go underneath.
Now whistle away from the ball here. Now back to Elijah Hawkins. He had a season-high 4 threes the other night against Utah.
Yeah, and they're dancing out there with that ball screen. Saunders makes a mistake of going underneath, and he makes him pay with the easy triple. He is a player you got to stay in his jersey. He is too good. You see that step-back 3.
And that is absolutely the focus for BYU tonight. Texas Tech, the second-best three-point shooting team in the Big 12, behind Houston, which hit 16 of them against BYU on Saturday. Saunders the kick. Demon short. Catchings rips down the offensive rebound, and he puts it back in.
Catchings has been in attack mode since we tipped off. Taking the ball to the rim right there. Second effort on the offensive glass. He's playing with some purpose tonight.
Freshman who's just scratching the surface, in the words of Kevin Young. Was a top 40 player in the ESPN 100. Hawkins wants another 3. Saunders into traffic. Demon got the step on Williams. Feeding Keita. A dime by Demon. Hawkins picked up the dribble. Anderson, the freshman, 7 to shoot. And there's the lob to Federico.
Always an option when you get in the lane for Texas Tech. They know how to find the big fella. Beautiful lob pass.
Demon turning the corner. Oh, that didn't drop. Anderson catch and shoot. Hall got stripped by Kristen Anderson. Numbers 2-on-1. But BYU gets back. And a 3-ball for Hawkins. He hits the target. Texas Tech in front.
Live ball turnover for Texas Tech. That's easy work. They know exactly what to do. attack the rim, make the great pass.
Grant McCaslin has told Hawkins, hey, take the three if it's there. Demon off the feed from Keita. How about that?
Normally you see a point guard cut through the lane, it's no big deal, but when he's 6'9", you gotta respect it. Easy too.
Anderson, a little fall away in the lane. Pretty shot from the freshman. Boy, Anderson has helped Texas Tech right away. Four-star prospect coming out of the legendary Oak Hill Academy in Virginia. Saunders launches. Williams tries his hand at one, and he hits it. And a timeout for BYU. So Hawkins and Williams raining down threes, and a timeout for the Cougars.
Right now it's about the dimes. BYU making some plays. Yeager with the drop off and the conversion, but not to be outdone at the opposite end. Give it to the big fella and throwing it down. Great passing and some great shooting in the early minutes. We got a great one here in Provo.
Au revoir, mon amour. Au bientôt.
Let's work on that French, shall we?
Au revoir, mon amour. À bientôt. Au revoir, mon amour. À bientôt.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust, buttery garlic spread. Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key.
Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that are in it to win it. That always make the grade. And take the words out of office seriously. A shoe for every you. At DSW.
Well, we check out some of the early news and notes from Big 12 Conference play, Corey, and Iowa State and Houston. Dominant performances over the weekend. Oh, don't forget about your Arizona Wildcats, which picked up a huge win over a ranked West Virginia team earlier tonight.
It's been a great couple of days for the Wildcats. The tough win at Cincinnati, and then they go into West Virginia and come out with a double-digit win. Not a lot of people saw that coming.
It's been a rough ride in non-conference. People at Arizona, you know this, Corey, the conversation, hey, what is this? At this number of losses this early in the year? Just give it time.
I live in Tucson, and when they were 4 and 5, it's hard. It was a hard life down there, but the Wildcats and Tommy Lloyd turning it around, and such a long season in the Big 12, so many games. Joe Lunardi has this as an 8-bid conference. So the top half of this conference is going to be such fierce competition night in and night out. Great places to play, great arenas all throughout the conference. We're in one here tonight, the Marriott Center, where the Cougars tend to be nearly invincible at times.
14 straight wins, 8-0 this year. Giuseppe Traore walked. And so a travel for BYU after they called the timeout. Corey, the difference in the game so far, Texas Tech, 3 of 6 from downtown. BYU 0 of 4.
Well, you know, BYU's got 8 points in the paint, and there's nothing wrong with that. You continue to score points, what I call body blows in the paint, the threes are going to come. So right now, take what the defense gives you. It's still a 4-point game. No reason to start panicking. Got a lot of basketball to play.
Williams fighting for an offensive rebound. It's a tie-up, and it'll stay at this end, thanks to the arrow.
Well, you're not going to find too many players with the upper body strength of Darian Williams. You're not going to grab that ball away from him. He goes up in a crowd and comes down with the rebound. Right now, BYU's zone defense causing some issues.
Anderson hitting the floor, and it's another tie-up. This time it's BYU ball. Oh, we mentioned Kevin Young's going to experiment with some lineups. How about this on the floor right now? Dallin Hall, the only starter out there at the moment, joined by Traore, Trevin Nell, the sharpshooter, Dawson Baker, and Mawot Mag.
Well, all coaches do this, you know, around that 13, 14-minute mark. You do what you can do. Get guys in. It's still early. The game isn't nearly been decided. You want to see what you're going to get from players 7 through 10 if you can get them out there.
Mag, too strong. Played just 6 minutes in the loss to Houston on Saturday. Top and down low against Traore. The repost, and Toppin misfires. Now Traore on the block against Darian Williams. Under 10 to shoot. Foose with the footwork and the bucket.
That was great defense, just slightly better offense, but interesting enough, Foose couldn't move him off the block. Williams held his ground, made him come back to the jump hook. That'll be an interesting matchup to watch as the game continues.
Now right back at it at the other end. Toppin passes out. Anderson off target. Tapped out to Hawkins. And Hawkins with a good look again. Left it short. And it's BYU ball. Timeout with Texas Tech up 2.
I did some soul searching.
I started praying. I said, whatever you're doing, just don't take this one.
Challenges come with pain.
There's no other story like it.
But pain will not win.
Your Jayhawks are national champions!
Pursue the dream.
Don't let anything stop you.
If I can make it this far, you can make it even further.
No matter what I do, all the glory go to God.
It's given me a great sense of purpose.
This is my life's work.
The power of we believes in you. It advocates for you. It completes your circle. It makes sure you have the strongest circle possible. And with Intermountain Health in yours, you'll always have the care you need to live the healthiest life possible. That's the power of we. Intermountain Health.
Now that BYU is in the Big 12 Conference, it's no surprise. The Cougars are facing some tough competition. As a business owner, you experience the same thing every day with your company. So let's work together. You'll be a vital part of our team by supporting BYU's 623 student athletes, and we'll assist your organization in getting the results you want. Email sponsorship@byu.edu. That's sponsorship@byu.edu today. BYU Athletics and your business. Let's team up.
Welcome to BYU Sports Nation. BYU Sports Nation is the ultimate place to get your latest BYU sports news.
It is my ball.
Welcome to the show.
It was just a magical season.
Nobody expected this.
Let that resonate for you for a second.
Get fresh takes.
We got a lot to say.
Interviews, expert analysis.
Oh, so that's my favorite.
BYU Sports Nation. Tune in, join in.
BYU is in Nepal looking at the impacts of pollution from brick kilns on individuals and communities.
The goal of our research is to improve the working conditions and the lives of those people who work here.
I'm very happy to work with BYU. With this collaboration, we can do many more things.
You can change the lives of other people for the better if you're just willing to use the gifts which God has blessed you with.
A 2-point lead for Texas Tech, approaching the midway mark of the first half. Ted Emmerich, Corey Williams, our entire crew. Graham McCasland has an elite shooting team and a balanced offense. Here are the 4 players who average double-figure points, Corey. They had 6 players in double figures Saturday against Utah. Graham McCasland said it earlier today. We are at our best when we are the sum of our parts offensively.
And I've seen a lot of college basketball. I can tell you those numbers are insane. When you figure there's that many guys scoring points, shooting at a good percentage. And here's the thing, Ted, you've only got one ball, so you got to share it. And so to see those guys hit those numbers on a team that's playing against good defensive teams as well.
They changed the call during the timeout. That's why BYU was upset. You might have seen going to break. They awarded the ball back to Texas Tech. McMillan misses the 3, and BYU clears it with Demon, who returns.
Zone defense for the Cougars, paying some early dividends, causing some turnovers there. Texas Tech unable to connect on the 3.
Demon against Texas Tech's best on-ball defender, Kevin Overton, finds the cutter, Mag for 2. Eyes in the back of his head.
He's a pass-first player, which makes him a threat. He can score, but he's always thinking about passing the rock first.
Toppin. Overton, the floater, that drops. Kevin Overton was on the all-freshman team in the Missouri Valley last year at Drake, and he's transferred up to the Big 12.
Big-time move right there. He had the 3-pointer, but he wanted the floater. Good patience.
Baker, no. Traore, that goes begging. Oh, Demon using his length to deflect that out of bounds.
Yegor on the block, one-on-one, great vision, but good ball movement. Guys not standing around watching, knowing he's the kind of guy, you make a move, he's going to find you.
Now, Corey, it's clear opponents want to be physical with Demon and make him force things. He is adjusting as this season is moving along, as Federico loses it.
He's one of those guys who tries to find various ways to have an impact, whether it's getting downhill for the scoop layup like that or dropping dimes.
How about Fus Traore? Counted in the foul.
And this is why bigs love playing with guards that get downhill, because they got to leave you to contest, and when they leave you, it's free lunch on the offensive rebound. The rotation, nobody puts a body on them. Easy 2, a chance for 3 the hard way.
And the foul, Corey, is on JT Toppin. That's his second here. 9:22 mark of the first half. He battled foul trouble Saturday against Utah.
I think this may be the last we see of him for a while. Doubtful he'll return here in the half just because he's so valuable. Like I said, we still got a tie game, but that's one of the choices that the coaches have to make. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
There you go. Fus, you see the numbers. He eats on the offensive glass. You saw why as he gives BYU the lead with the 3-point play. Toppin off the floor now. Kick ball here by Mag. And the shot clock resets to 20.
Coach telling him, you got to shoot that against the zone. Dangerous bounce pass. They're trying to do the right thing, but the high post isn't open. Cougars doing a great job of defending the high post in this zone defense. Texas Tech has to find a way to create that overload.
The idea is to get it to the nail, right? Near the foul line and kick from there. But if BYU's crowding, you got to take the shot. Darren Williams off the mark. Demon, a step back 3. It's short. And McMillan with the rebound. Demons 1 for 5 from the floor. A couple of assists and 4 points. Federico on the interior.
And that was a laser from the top of the key from Williams. He held that ball, let the big man roll. Great play.
Speaking of a bigger body, a la Demon, who can make plays, who can run the offense through him. How about Darian Williams? That doesn't fall for Trevin Nell. Nell was one Cougar who had it going against Houston with the 4 threes. McMillan on the drive, lost it, and a whistle. And a timeout with Tech up by 1.
And sometimes, Ted, it's about patience against the zone. Williams up front, you got to give us something, and you give us the big man wide open in the paint. Great vision, good ball movement early. Texas Tech up 1.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games, no fun.
Yes, Coach.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one you have all to yourself.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee.
Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread? Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key.
Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that set the vibe for the whole night. That make the exact right first impression. And have a way of thriving in any condition. A shoe for every you at DSW.
1 point lead for Texas Tech. Student section for BYU, The Rock. Always engaged. Hard hats on to fit the mentality tonight for BYU, trying to bounce back. Well, Darian Williams had that laser-like pass to Federico just before the timeout. Forget hashtags, forget social media. How about this as a daily reminder for the mindset you need? Tattoos, one on each leg, humble and sacrifice. Humble because he says, I need to remember where I came from. He had 0 scholarship offers midway through his senior year of high school. And sacrifice because it's not about you when all you care about is winning.
Well, that is a winning formula, and a lot of young people can take a page from his book. You talk about what makes you a great player, being available and being able to be coached. You need those 2 things, but more importantly, those 2 things make you a great teammate.
Chance McMillan at the line out of the timeout. A 96% foul shooter. He has missed only 1 free throw coming in. And now he's 28 of 29 on the season. And on the other thing about Williams, Corey, Watched Jay Williams call the Texas Tech St. Joseph's game in Brooklyn back in November. And Jay Will got a lot of flack for this. It's not comparing him to Luka Doncic, but just the pace that Darian Williams plays with. It's refreshing in the college game today. He plays at his own pace.
Yeah, and you have to. I mean, you hurry when you feel like that's to your advantage, but if you built the way he's built and you have his tools, you don't have to rush for anybody. You can take your time on ball screens. You can take your time dribbling, posting guys up, because it's really up to you and it's your decision. There's very few players in college basketball that can play at their own tempo because they're that good.
Kevin Overton just picked up his second personal, so Toppin, Tech's best player, and now Overton with 2. Loose ball, Anderson trying to save it. Into the hands of Hall, and BYU has its first 3 of the night. That ties it up.
That was a real shaky possession right there for the Cougs, but it ends up with a great look from 3. Even a contested look, they're able to knock it down. You see how important that defensive rebound is for the Red Raiders, limiting them to 1 shot.
Williams trying to find Federico, and a foul called. It's against Federico. And BYU's in the bonus. So 1-1 for the Cougars coming up. So Hall at the line, 80% on the year. 12 of 15, and he'll have 1 more. So Toppin returns here for Texas Tech, Corey, with the 2 personals, 7:11 to go until halftime.
A little bit of horse trading right now. Which player can you afford to play, and who do you have to bench? Federico, an impact player with his size, very valuable as well, and it's just a lesser of 2 evils at this point.
Williams cut off. Toppin swatted by Saunders. Hall turning the corner, and he puts it in. A timeout for Texas Tech.
And Ted, this is just outstanding team defense on this play. You're going to watch a great penetration and a drop-off. This is 2 points against most teams, but right there, Saunders doesn't give up, comes and gets his teammates back, and then at the other end, Hall with the Dr. J finger roll down the lane. A little bit of love to the bench, 6-0 run for the Cougs.
And all of those points coming from Dallin Hall, the junior from Plain City. You know, Kevin Young said it earlier today, Corey. It's just a different feel for Hall this year, playing alongside another playmaker, the caliber of Yegor Demin. It's a different system, and Hall is adjusting this year. He's seen that improvement game after game.
Oh yeah, when you have a player who's a pass-first point guard, it's a little bit, I guess, you'd want to say contagious. Guys start thinking about, oh, I don't have to worry about shooting every shot. So the shots that you do take, better looks, better percentage, the ball does the work, and he's a beneficiary of that. When he decides to make his own play, he's got lanes to score.
BYU in that zone. Hawkins has a couple of threes in this first half. Williams doubled. The skip to Anderson. 3 to shoot. Does Toppin realize it? And cleared by Mag. Hall has the last 6 for BYU. Under 6 to play in the half. 4 to shoot. Hall at the logo. He fires. Way off. Man, imagine if that had gone down.
Stranger things have happened in the Marriott Center.
Hawkins, his 3rd triple. We're tied again.
Hawkins been looking for a little bit of daylight since those early buckets, and he finds some right there. Transition bucket right there for the Red Raiders, and they're going to get a cheap foul right here.
It's on Christian Anderson, and again, BYU in the bonus, so free throws on the way. Corey, would you believe these two teams, both at 10 and 3, tonight would mark the first quad 1 win on either team's resume, right? The best kind of win as you evaluate teams for the NCAA tournament.
That's a very elusive thing, the quad 1 win for a lot of coaches in college basketball. Some are still out there hunting for their first one. And now that people know the formula, what makes a tournament-worthy team? You see more pressure put, more attention paid to those types of numbers.
Texas Tech ranked 21st in the net. Despite not having a quad 1 win, JT Toppin banks it in.
You can see right now that's such a big part of the Red Raider offense. They just get it to the big. They know where their big is supposed to be.
Saunders trying to get past Kerwin Walton. Catchings against Darian Williams. Shot clock running down. Nell got past McMillan, and he puts it in.
That is a huge bucket for the Cougs. Shot clock winding down. Nell was in no man's land, but somehow made a nice nifty step through.
Walton offline. Loose ball and chased down by McMillan. Williams was looking for Toppin. Deflected, he got it back. And Darian Williams is fouled. Keba Keita trying to stand tall. And we've got a timeout. Under 4 to play first half. Knotted up at 25.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
And they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah, road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by like a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
See you later. Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread? Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key. Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Food this good? Easier than you think. With brand new, easier than ever recipes from HelloFresh. We're talking barely lift a finger easy and done in a flash fast. Now, get all the flavor with way less work. All week long. HelloFresh. Homemade, made easy.
Jerem Jordan alongside Kristen Kozlowski and Blaine Fowler. Hang with us on the ESPN Plus halftime report as we break down the first half between Texas Tech and BYU, tied at 25 right now. Stats, highlights, and analysis coming up. Back to Ted and Corey in the Marriott Center for the Red Raiders and Cougars.
Jeremy, we look forward to that as we check out our game summary. And Corey, the number that jumps out here, Texas Tech, 39% from the field. Coming into today, the #1 team in field goal percentage at 52%.
Well, that's facing a man-to-man. This BYU defense has been primarily zone here in the first half, and it's caused them to hesitate, caused them to slow things down just a little, and that's been the strategy.
And you're seeing that defensive intensity from BYU that Kevin Young was imploring his team to give, especially after what happened over the weekend at Houston. Darian Williams at the line, out of the timeout. 86% on the year, ranking 6th in the league. Really struggled in the conference opener, a loss to UCF, 11 points on 5 of 16 shooting, but was so much better against Utah. Now 5 points to go with 5 rebounds and an assist for D5. Toppin remains on the floor for Texas Tech with the 2 personals. See if BYU tries to attack him. Inside to Traore against Toppin. 6 to shoot. Banging down low. And Traore muscles it in.
Traore just too big to let him get it that deep. It's game over. When he got you down there by that circle, there's not a whole lot you can do, and he's got that soft touch.
Hawkins, not this time. Rebound for Catchings. BYU on the run. Catchings, a wild shot, but he draws the foul. It's against Chance McMillan.
Catchings getting to the free throw line for the 3rd time in the half. You see he's been in attack mode.
Well, the bloodline is there, certainly, with Cannon Catchings. Momtaja played at Illinois. Yes, the nephew of Tamika, our ESPN colleague, by the way. 4-time Olympic gold medalist, former WNBA MVP and 10-time All-Star. Oh, by the way, Grandpa Harvey played 11 years in the NBA.
Well, that's tough at the family reunion because they're all looking at you like, so what are you going to do? Anything you do right now has already been done. You're trying to beat out Auntie, trying to beat out Grandpa. That is tough, but he's a heck of a player and a huge upside for that young man. You see his size and his athleticism.
Yeah, can you imagine that game of horse with Dad Harvey, Aunt Tamika, Momtaja? Fun. Toppin sets the screen. Boy, just trying to work it inside. 5 to shoot. Anderson, no. Williams corrals the offensive rebound and loses it.
Not sure how Williams didn't get a foul on that putback.
Saunders weaving through traffic for the basket.
That's Mr. Energy for the Cougars. Saunders just probing and pushing, and now here comes this crowd at the Marriott Center.
Toppin. And a whistle before the shot, I believe. Foul against Dallin Hall.
Well, this layup right here is made possible by Traore posting up strong, giving him the lane to score. Toppin just a little slow because he's playing defense. He can't get over there in time, and Saunders just so crafty finding those lanes to get those layups off.
Remember, Saunders was in the transfer portal along with Dallin Hall with the coaching change, but They signed up once they talked with Kevin Young and understood exactly what was coming to Provo.
If you've got aspirations to win, as soon as he took the job, it was obvious you needed to stay put because he's one of the great coaches, and they got some skills, and he's going to put them in situations to be successful.
Darian Williams with the three to bring Tech to within a point. Back down low to Traore against Toppin. Late in the shot clock. Too strong this time.
Texas Tech holding their breath every time Toppin has to defend that. He's got 2 fouls.
Anderson the sidestep. Offensive board. Reload for Anderson. Again the sidestep, and he couldn't hit this one either.
And that's good offense right there for Texas Tech. You get 2 wide open threes, you got to take them, regardless of how early in the shot clock it is.
And Anderson's a 40% three-point shooter.
That's the guy you want shooting him anyway.
50 seconds to play in the half. Under 10 to shoot. And Texas Tech ball.
Great defense right there by Hawkins in the corner. Jumping out in the passing lane, forcing the turnover.
Trey Stewart checking in here for BYU. The senior from American Fork. His 8th appearance of the season. As Baker takes a seat.
Cougars going to go man-to-man in this late possession.
Williams into the paint, and he goes reverse side for 2.
That's just a great move. Beating the defender, taking it all the way to the other side off the glass.
Shot clock is dark. Hall guarded by Hawkins.
Well, Hawkins, such a pest on the ball. Quick beat. Keeping his hands out of there.
Traore trying to free him up. 5 seconds. Hall gives it up. Stewart, he hoists. And it's money! Trey Stewart, just his 2nd made 3 of the season. And BYU has the lead heading to the best shooting team in America. Limited to just 37% in the first half. What is the counter now for the Red Raiders?
Well, they've got to get those paint touches. They've got to become a threat in the paint. And if they don't get the ball inside to the high post and to the paint, if they just continue to play handball on the perimeter, that shooting percentage is going to stay right where it is, and they're going to stay looking at another 20 to 30 point half, which you know they want to explode. They'd love to have 80 points by the end of this night.
And McMillan throws it away on the first possession of the second half.
You see this a lot in college basketball. A 2-3 zone just wreaks havoc because it requires everybody to think. And that's exactly what athletes don't want to do. Game time, it's time to react, time to play up your instincts, time to play with momentum and emotion. But you come across half court and see that zone, everything shuts down and you start thinking basketball and you slow down a little bit. And right there you see the turnover.
It's almost like, oh, we don't see this all that often. What am I supposed to do here?
Yeah, you're like a race car ready to get out and run, but you see that 2-3 zone, you got to be cerebral.
Demon the extra pass. 3 ball from Hall, in and out.
Good ball movement right there by the Cougars.
Boy, Tech would love to get JT Toppin going. Remember the 2 fouls limited his playing time in the first half. And right on cue, Toppin with the bucket. He had only 3 points in the first half. He averages 19.
And believe it or not, that's how you open up a 3-point shot. If you're going to play us one-on-one and Toppin can get us some buckets, you've got a decision to make in terms of, are you going to double team him?
Demon. Oh, the shot's still not falling. Yegor Demon, 1 of 6 now, and 0 of 3 from long distance.
Oh, you couldn't have paid for a better look than that one. Wide open, couldn't get it to drop. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc to start the second half for the Cougars. We'll see if the Red Raiders try to get this mismatch. Toppin against Saunders, they can't get him the ball. They're going to come back to his side.
McMillan fires instead, the second best 3-point shooter in the country. He couldn't hit. Down low, Demon beating everyone down the floor, plus the foul.
Transition defense, so important. You can't just jog back in the Marriott Center. You do, bad things happen. The Cougars running the court, ahead to the big fella, lays it in. Got to do a better job communicating. He's not a player you can lose in traffic. You've got to stay in his jersey.
From the Real Madrid program in Spain, by the way, the same program Luka Doncic was a part of. Demon was on his way to becoming an elite player in the EuroLeague, but he chose to play college basketball. Now 18 years old, and what an impression he's made here at BYU.
And what was important to him and his team was that he goes somewhere where they were going to play basketball the right way, the way he had learned to play it at Real Madrid. Spacing, smart play, very important to his success as he shoots the lane.
Disrupting Hawkins here, 4 to shoot. Hawkins trying to get around Demon. That had no chance of falling. Saunders attacking Overton, and a foul. Kevin Overton picking up his 3rd personal. Best defender for Texas Tech on the perimeter. Yeah, so we check out Yegor Demon and his full bio here. He's going to be a lottery pick. Could very well be a top 5 pick. Depending how the rest of the season goes. NBA scouts, Corey, are coming out every chance they get.
Well, and with good reason. I mean, his size, most impressive thing about him is the way he sees the game. That's what's rare about him. At his height, he's a pass-first player, but he's got the skill set. But he knows where everybody is, and if you're bringing him into an NBA team, you've already got guys that score. You just need facilitators, and he's only going to get better.
Missed the 3 there. He's 0 of 4 from downtown. Stroke from the outside hasn't come back since he has returned from that knee injury just yet. Under 10 to shoot for Overton, playing with the 3 personals. Overton lines it up. And a foul called against BYU.
Yeah, Saunders was on the weak side when that shot went up. He found himself trying to box out Federico. This is not what you want to do. Just go ahead and locks him up and drives him out of there like an NFL tight end. Just the referees are not going to let you do that, but he's fighting for his life on that weak side rebound against a 7-footer.
He was called for holding in addition to the personal foul. McMillan draws the foul here on the drive.
Now it's the Red Raiders asserting a little physicality, offensive rebounds, getting downhill. They've been very passive against that zone. They're going to have to try to change things if they want to open this game up offensively.
Grant McCaslin has tried to fortify that identity since he took over last year in Lubbock. Hashtag TTW, toughest team wins. They need that kind of physicality in this building. As you see what McMillan is staring at, trying to hit a free throw, and it's just the 2nd miss of the season for Chance McMillan.
Well, if you take a look at the student section and what he's looking into, you start to wonder, are these connected?
One for 2.
Welcome to the Marriott Center where The Rock will be heard.
Can easily get hypnotized. Traore back on the floor for BYU. Demon out to Mag for the 3. McMillan to the cup.
McMillan, an outstanding shooter, but right there chose to put the ball on the deck and blow by Sanders.
Now Saunders trying to turn against McMillan. Paul left open. Offensive rebound, Saunders. And Mag scoops it in.
Little redemption right there for Saunders. Extra effort wins a 2nd possession for the Cougs, and they're able to convert.
And Mag is taking advantage of a little more playing time here tonight.
Cougars doing a great job on those dribble handoffs. They're really jumping out taken away the penetration, but they may have to rotate over and help.
3 ball for McMillan and an out. He's 0 for 3. 52% on the year coming in. Behind only Kobe Brea of Kentucky nationally. Timeout with BYU up by 2 early second half in Provo.
Weekends, they rock. And with the Reliant Truly Free Weekends plan, they rock even harder. Because you get free electricity from 8 p.m. Friday to 12 a.m. Monday. So you can save, whether you're shredding the strings or just washing your threads. Sounds pretty good, and it should. It's the Truly Free Weekends plan, powered by 100% solar. Rock on. Reliant, proud partner of Texas Tech Athletics.
At Covenant Health, connection means strength. Through our partnership with Providence Cancer Institute, we bring world-class resources and innovative treatments to our community. Because when it comes to fighting cancer, every moment matters. At Covenant Health, our specialists collaborate daily to tailor the best possible outcomes, and we stand by you every step of your journey. You're not just facing cancer, you're overcoming it. When it's cancer, every moment matters.
The Matador Club is the official NIL collective of Texas Tech Athletics. What does the Matador Club do? They create partnerships between Texas Tech athletes, fans and alumni, and the local community. By donating to the Matador Club, you receive exclusive perks and you're supporting your favorite student athletes and local nonprofits. Sign up and get ready to hear those victory bells ring.
Here, we've got our own state and state of mind, where worlds of all kinds converge under 2 T's and 1 lone star. Here is in the eye of the storm and up in the stars. Here, tradition fuels progress, and unity is born from proud individualism. Here, anything can happen, because this isn't just Texas Tech. It's what's next. And from here, it's possible.
We take a look around the Big 12 tonight as conference play continues. And Corey, I know you're very excited right now. Arizona Wildcats going on the road to Morgantown and dropping the newly ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. KJ Lewis with a career-high 21.
KJ Lewis, one of the most explosive, well-rounded players in a Wildcat uniform, both ends of the floor. He's that spark plug for the Arizona team, and they're riding high after 2 road wins, and road wins are going to be extremely valuable in this year's Big 12 competition. And you get the feeling right now, Texas Tech trying to get one here in Provo. Hard to come by in this conference, which has so much depth and will have a lot of parity.
Now, BYU has won 14 in a row here. The last loss to Houston, January 23rd of 2024. 2-point BYU lead. A game that's featured 9 ties and 10 lead changes.
We talked about paint touches against the zone. Can they create something? But all they create is a turnover.
Saunders digging it out for the Cougars. Hall trying to find Mag. It's deflected by Darian Williams. Anderson the other way. Tipped by Nell. Hawkins throws it up and he ties the score again.
Hawkins was looking to pass, and at the last minute he realized the floater's there, so he takes it, drops it home, and we're all tied up.
Hawkins with 11 to lead all scorers. Eight on the timer for Hall, and a foul. by Elijah Hawkins. You mentioned it, Corey, in the first half. Such a pest. He just got too close there.
And he's the kind of guy you love playing with because he's going to get 2 or 3 of those a game where it's just an extra possession because he's so aggressive. And right here, out there on the ball, 35 feet from the rim, just doesn't care. Wants to play good defense. They call that the tip of the spear. You need a point guard that's going to sit down and lock in, set the tone for the rest of the team.
All pass offline for Traore. Here comes Darian Williams. Into the corner, and another 3-ball for Hawkins. His 4th of the night.
Darian Williams took Traore all the way to the rim just to make that pass.
And Traore misses at the other end. Out of bounds to Tech.
We talked about live ball turnovers. Watch this. It's a foot race. He wins right here, but this is where the play is made. Going all the way to the rim, baseline pass. You see this in the NBA all the time. Run to the corner when the ball's going to the rim. Great find. Hawkins back-to-back buckets. The Red Raiders seesaw in front and then able to get the stop. They'll be working against this zone one more time.
An 8-2 run for the Red Raiders. For Hawkins, back-to-back games with 4 threes. Overton rolling to the basket, and he's fouled. It's against Dimon.
Texas Tech seeking out those lanes against the zone. If they're not going to do it with the pass, they're trying to do it off the bounce.
It just seems like Texas Tech is more intentional offensively against the zone here in the second half.
Well, I think we can guess what was discussed at halftime. I mean, they played handball around the perimeter, and BYU did a great job of stymieing them and contesting shots. But here in the second half, they've made a clear point of taking advantage of their athleticism, driving the basketball. See if these guys are going to move their feet and keep you out of the lane. If not, let's create stuff for ourselves.
And Overton goes 1 for 2 with the rock just behind the basket. 6 in a row for the Red Raiders. 9-2 run and a foul on Tech. And Christian Anderson, number 2 on the freshman.
You can really see the respect that they have for the BYU perimeter players. They are hugging them 25, 30 feet from the rim. They're not trying to grant any daylight because they know the way they shoot the ball, they only need a little bit of space.
And that's despite BYU shooting 2 of 16 from 3 tonight. Mag, right on cue. There's a triple for BYU.
A much-needed triple from an unlikely source.
His 6th made 3. He shot it well in limited attempts this year. 42%. Now the passing around the perimeter for Tech. Overton trying to take Baker inside. 6 to shoot. Off the crossover. Overton banks it in. What a move.
And that's been there all night. Texas Tech finally discovering the one-on-one. Great move by Overton.
Dimon, the drop off, and Traore is fouled. Number 2 on Hawkins.
Hawkins came over, reached in, took away an easy layup. That's kind of what you want. Make them go to the line, make them earn it. Good find by the Cougars, that little pick and roll, finding the big man, sliding to the rim.
Traore, an excellent foul shooter. 86% on the year. He was BYU's top returning scorer from last season. Corey had a season-low 1 point in that loss to Houston. Kevin Young had a long conversation with both of his bigs through the weekend into tonight. Traore and Keba Keita looking for that better effort here tonight. They've got it from Traore, certainly.
And the reality of it is, it doesn't matter who you are in college basketball. You're only going to go as far as your bigs take you. And that's no disrespect to the great guards around the college landscape, but every coach knows if you don't have a presence, at least defensively, you don't have a shot. Your bigs got to give you something.
Hawkins has hit 4 threes tonight. Back to Hawkins, under 10 to shoot. Open look for Anderson. Tip-up try by McMillan, no.
McMillan thought he was fouled on that putback attempt. No call, but Cougars dodge a bullet as they totally lost Anderson.
Demon to Traore. A beautiful combination for BYU. Cougars back on top.
The vision of the 6'9" freshman making great plays here.
Demon with the steal now. The lob, Traore. Oh, just trying to stay in bounds. Back to Demon. Baker got Anderson off his feet. And Baker connects. That's a three. It's a 7-0 run for BYU. The present is bright for BYU. What about the future with the #1 recruit in the country coming to Provo? Coach B with a breakdown next.
I chose to attend Columbus State because of their updated curriculum. It really exposed me to the industry level of programming. Now, I have a career as a software engineer in Columbus's booming IT industry.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread? Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah!
They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key.
Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that are in it to win it. That always make the grade. And take the words out of office seriously. A shoe for every you at DSW.
A.J. DiBonsa is the real deal. At 17 years old, he's the #1 prospect in the world. He has NBA athleticism comparable to LeBron James and Tracy McGrady at the same stage. He'll bring BYU great versatility, intensity, and a high basketball IQ. Never before has BYU had a prospect of this magnitude. When his time is done, he'll be the favorite to be the #1 pick in the 2026 NBA Draft.
A phenom on his way to Provo. We appreciate Coach B for the knowledge. Playing his senior year of high school at Utah Prep, the southwestern part of the state in Hurricane, Utah. Corey, he is so much fun to watch, and NBA scouts will tell you that if they had the opportunity in this coming draft in 2025, they would take A.J. DiBonsa over Duke's Cooper Flag.
Well, for quite a while, the NBA draft has been about potential. And there's no one with more potential than him. When you see what he can already do, you can see why scouts and GMs are salivating over what he can become in the NBA game. He's got the instincts, he's got the athleticism, a good outside shot. All of that is just going to improve when he comes here and gets a year in this program and develops under that coach right there. The sky is the limit for that young man.
Now, Kevin Young, the NBA background certainly helps. You know, Young said it in the summer, I was nervous to jump into college recruiting and what it's become, but I am having a blast. He is selling the ability to develop players for the highest level.
Well, that's what every player dreams of, and you make sure that you've got everything lined up. Everybody's rowing in the same direction.
Hawkins on fire! His 5th three-pointer as he ties a career high with 5 triples.
And they really needed that possession right there. BYU just put a big run on. Crowd was all over the place, making noise, and got back to a 1-point game.
It was a 7-0 run for BYU before that shot. Demon. No. Man, if it hasn't been from close range, it just hasn't fallen for Yegor Demon since coming back from the injury. Toppin, swallowed up by Nell, out of bounds off BYU. What a defensive play. And we've got a timeout. 1-point game. Pair of teams trying to get back above 500 in Big 12 play. In the early going, Elijah Hawkins doing his part for Texas Tech.
All night long, BYU has found them. Right here, Nell on the rotation. No easy baskets in Big 12 league play.
Popeyes has the wing game on lock for your watch party. With 8 crispy, bold Louisiana wing flavors and bone-in or boneless, you just might have everyone chanting MVP in your direction.
Have that chicken from Popeyes.
Chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Okay, I'm gonna help you clean, all right?
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that set the vibe for the whole night. That make the exact right first impression. And have a way of thriving in any condition. A shoe for every you at DSW.
The college football playoff semifinals begin Thursday and continue Friday.
Forget about the seeds. The top 4 seeds all going down in the quarterfinals of the newly expanded college football playoff. Cannot wait for the semifinals later this week.
Well, it's going to be good. Anybody tells you they know exactly how it's going to play out, they're not telling you the truth. Great matchups, and it's such a different thing when you've got an entire 7 to 10 days to prepare for one team, and it's win or go home. It's not the regular season. You can really focus all your attention on one school.
Now on Dawson Baker, trying to meet JT Toppin at the apex of that pass. Hard to predict. You could say that about this game as well, with all the ties and lead changes. Second half, 1-point game.
Well, I hate to be Captain Obvious, but this game is going to come down to the team that makes the fewest defensive errors down the stretch, because both teams taking advantage of anything that gets left on the table.
Under 10 to shoot for Texas Tech. Hawkins has 5 threes, 17 points. This too doesn't fall. Williams, an offensive rebound, a tie-up, and it belongs to BYU with the arrow.
Credit Williams for flying in out of nowhere and even making that a jump ball. He's been doing that a couple of times tonight, getting his hands in there.
Demon, the freshman from Russia, future lottery pick, 7 points, 5 assists, catchings. Another star freshman off target and out of bounds. It'll stay here.
And that was not a good look right there by Catchings. Forced it a little quick in a tight game like this. Still plenty of time, but go with what's working.
Down low to Traore against Toppin. Great matchup tonight. Poked away, but a whistle. And a foul on Toppin. That's number 3.
Right now, you're Texas Tech. You're just going to live with that. There's under 10 to go, but you're going to see a substitution right here. They're going to want Toppin available because they know this game's going to come down to the final couple of minutes.
Yeah, so Federico back on. Trying to keep up with Traore. Certainly got the height advantage. But that's always the case, really. Traore at the disadvantage. And he still scores no matter what.
Well, they wanted to feature him for that entire possession, and he delivers.
Overton, too strong. And a foul against Chance McMillan. So BYU shooting free throws the rest of the way. And you see the individual foul trouble for Texas Tech.
The bigger problem is what you just said. Cougars shooting for the remainder of the game. You have to play 9 minutes of foul-free basketball against a team that moves the ball the way that they do, attacks you the way that they do. It's almost impossible to keep them off the line unless they start turning it over or for some reason stop attacking.
Demon trying to get that stroke going at the line. Oh, missed the front end. That happened a couple of times, remember, in the first half for BYU. Cougars have missed 7 free throws tonight. They're 9 of 16.
Watch how the Cougars attack this ball screen. Keba Keita back in the game for the Cougars. It's been a minute for him. See if he can deliver some plays. They've got the mismatch.
Oh, this is deep for Terrion Williams, and Keita with the rebound. Demon takes it himself for 2. has not fallen from the outside. Yegor Demin on the attack.
The 6'9" freshman, when he gets the corner, not a whole lot you can do. Size, finesse, Cougars by 5.
As your host, I have some rules. 2 flush maximum per bathroom visit. No games, no fun. There's a great barbecue outside, but don't touch that.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one that's all yours.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Enjoy.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread? Little Caesars really stepped it up with their stuffed crazy crust.
They really jazzed it up. Yeah! They really plussed this crust up.
They really dolled it up.
Everyone out my house. How did y'all even get in here?
The housekeeper gave me a key. Order stuffed crazy crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza. Okay, I'm gonna help you clean, all right?
Got it. It's tasty. You're not gonna taste it?
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that set the vibe for the whole night. That make the exact right first impression. And have a way of thriving in any condition. A shoe for every you at DSW.
Corey, maybe this will help Yegor Demin get rolling.
Well, he's definitely struggled from beyond the arc, but nothing helps like an easy look down the lane and a big bucket for the Cougs as they push out to a 5-point lead. Sometimes you just got to see the ball go through the hoop.
Yep, one of the new stars of college basketball. Going to be a top 10 pick, top 5. Take your pick. And Demin, since coming back from that knee injury that he suffered in early December, hasn't found the range quite yet, but the playmaking is still there.
Well, you have to understand what's going on with him. He is the top of everyone's scouting report. So you've got entire programs focusing on shutting you down and limiting you, and that's new. For any kid coming into the collegiate game, they've never had that kind of attention put on them. Strategies, junk defenses, guys preaching how to shut you down, analyzing your weaknesses. Of course, productivity is going to be a little bit different when that's the scenario for a star player.
Darian Williams has not scored here in the second half, just got fouled by Keba Keita. Williams had 10 in the first half for Tech.
Darian Williams, one of those rare type of talents. He can literally do anything he wants. He can post up the bigs, he can shoot with the guards. Just a strong player. He's gonna have to make some plays.
Did right there to keep it alive. Texas Tech facing its largest deficit. Hawkins, oh, got the friendly bounce. He can't miss from downtown. Three-pointer number 6.
Every time they have needed a bucket, Hawkins has come through.
It quiets more than 17,000 here at the Marriott Center. Hall, open look for Mag. Keita, the offensive rebound. That doesn't drop. A chance to tie or take the lead. How about the lead? McMillan gives it to Texas Tech.
And that's the first Texas Tech possession. They are known for that. And here, with 7 minutes remaining, they finally get to that quick transition three, that knockout punch that they like to deliver. That's what makes them so dangerous.
Chance McMillan with his first three of the game as BYU calls a timeout. McMillan started 0 of 4. We're talking about the second best three-point shooter in the nation.
Well, right here you go where the defense isn't, and they were down 5, but with a flick of the wrist and 2 possessions, the Red Raiders have come storming back. Just a little dribble, pitch back, knock down. You see the bench loving it. They are not going anywhere here in Provo tonight.
Chance McMillan learned to shoot, Corey, on a double-rimmed hoop at a park in the Bay Area from Vallejo, California. It's reinforced, you know it, harder to shoot on, and McMillan says that really helped him.
And to the real hoopers out there, you know exactly what that means. Those rims are unforgiving. If you're off to the left or right, you're not making them. So when you train on a double rim, you're perfecting the art of the switch. There's no other way to hoop. That's why playground ball was so competitive in the 80s and 90s. I don't know much that they hoop like that much now. But, man, playing on double rims outside on cement, your jumper had to be legit. There was no question about it.
It's got to be dead center. Under 7 to play. They get it into Keita.
A great recovery right there by Texas Tech.
Nell on the drive, the scoop, +1. Trevin Nell is much more than just a shooter.
Trevin Nell, one of the few players that showed up in the last game against Houston right here, gets the smaller defender on his hip and a little bit of flex the muscle for BYU. Crafty player, three-point shooter, but right there to the rim.
He was the only player in double figures in that loss to Houston on Saturday. Now 26 years old, and he's been married for 4+ years. Man, talk about maturity.
Maturity, got a mortgage, a wife, kids. He's out here hooping for real.
Oh, Chance McMillan, back-to-back threes. Texas Tech back on top.
Another signature quick possession, and the quick three for the Raiders.
McMillan rarely misses. He had a tough start to tonight. Keita keeping the possession alive. Blocked. And out of bounds to Texas Tech.
Keita doing an outstanding job on the glass. Back-to-back offensive rebounds for him. But you see the red jersey swarm over. Keita does a great job of fishing it out. They wall up. And he kind of loses control, and then off the knee, out of bounds. Crowd wanted a foul, but you're not going to get that. We are in the danger zone. Final minutes of this game. Everything has to be earned.
And Fus Traore back on the floor. Keita to the bench. Williams against Mag. Darian Williams on the board in the second half.
He's letting the bench know he feels like that's a mismatch. Time for him to step up in crunch time for Texas Tech.
Traore on the block against Federico. And Traore draws the foul. Man, he is a fire hydrant down there.
And the crazy thing about his post game is he's not an above-the-rim guy. He just moves you out of the way, takes the real estate he wants. Next thing you know, he's at the rim, and he's got that soft touch, right or left hand, doesn't matter. He just moves you out of the way. Very effective.
His first miss tonight. Again, such a good free throw shooter, 86% on the year, and he's 3 of 4 tonight.
Cougars as a team, not exactly where they want to be from the free throw line.
9 of 18. Traore does bury the second.
In a game like that, that's 9 points that no matter how this game ends up, you're going to wish you had made some of those free throws. See if Texas Tech can recognize offense against this zone.
Williams finds McMillan. Not this time.
Good stop for the Cougars. Can they convert?
Saunders cut off. Mag left it short, stuck with it for the bucket.
Boy, that is great defense, but even better offense. Mag sticking with it, tough basket, and here comes the Marriott Center crowd.
Williams backing down Hall. And Darian Williams again taking advantage of the matchup.
Hall, absolutely no match for Williams on that block. They got to send a double. He's starting to get hot, and we talked about his outside game, but now putting the post game on display.
Back to Traore. BYU's top scorer tonight. And Hawkins comes away with it for Texas Tech.
I'll give you one guess where the ball's going for the Red Raiders.
Williams has Demon on him now. And Hawkins gives it to him.
Little ISO ball on the freshman. There's the trap.
From Mag, swing it to McMillan. The extra to Overton. Oh, McMillan soars in for the putback.
And that's what happens when you double team. You're shorthanded on the glass. Texas Tech in go mode, attacking the rim.
Texas Tech matching its largest lead. Largest lead by either team tonight. Saunders in a crowd. It's a tie-up. And we're heading the other way with the alternating possession. Timeout. 5-point game as both teams search for their best win of the season.
BK melts, wanna warm up, this sure helps. Classic bacon, shroom, and Swiss. BK melt season is tasty bliss. BK, have it your way.
Chase your passions. We were made to put them in a package.
See you later, Mr. Lee.
Hi, Zoe.
How can I help you today?
Do you know if there's a less expensive option for my new Medicare prescription?
Medicare? Really? I might have to see some ID, Mr. Lee. Here, let me check on that for you. Okay, so I'll give your doctor's office a call and then
This is not just help with a Medicare prescription.
Thank you, Zoe.
Anytime. Bye.
This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Okay, I'm gonna help you clean, all right?
Where'd you get those shoes? The ones that take game night next level. That belong center state.
The Rock. The roar of the Cougars. The Rock is rocking here at the Marriott Center. Under 4 to play. Texas Tech by 5. Ted Emmerich, Corey Williams with you. And the difference for Tech here has been their three-point shooting.
Well, they've been getting a lot of productivity in a short amount of time. These transition threes where they get the ball, make the extra pass, knock down these threes that allowed them to close that gap. But more importantly, it fired up the bench, fired up the defense. Texas Tech feeling a little more comfortable from beyond the arc than they were in the first half, letting them rip, knocking them down. And it's the Red Raiders on fire in the second half. You see that 52% back where they normally are.
After BYU had held Grant McCaslin's team in check in the first half, BYU led by a pair at the break, Tech by 5. That's the largest lead for either team here tonight. Game that's featured 10 ties and 15 lead changes. A huge resume building win there for the taking for either the Cougars or the Red Raiders. Williams inside, going up against Traore and scoring again.
And I don't know how that wasn't an and one. There's a lot of contact, but no call. But Williams taking over in crunch time for Texas Tech.
Man, he did not score here in the second half, the first 12 plus minutes or so. Nell doesn't drop. And it stays at this end, off Overton. You don't agree with that?
At this point, you know, I'm going to leave it to the officials, but I thought that ball was knocked out of bounds by Traore, but you're going to see that ball come off. No, Catchings says he didn't touch it. Cougars with the ball.
And Saunders with the deuce.
Boy, he is unstoppable. You talk about a guy who attacks the rim, off the dribble in the paint. Big time play, and here comes that crowd trying to muster up a defensive stop for BYU.
Darian Williams, the fulcrum as usual for Texas Tech. Federico on the weak side, no. Picked it back up. And a tie-up, BYU ball.
I don't know about this. I mean, it was a weird play from the beginning. It looked like he was trying to pass it up the backboard, but Federico got to drop down that bucket. That was an easy point-blank shot. Brings the ball down and gets tied up, and Cougars win the possession. Missed opportunity right there for Texas Tech. They had a couple of easy looks at it.
Remember, BYU's been in the bonus since the 9-minute mark. Meanwhile, just 5 team fouls against BYU. Oh, the contact inside Demon and Overton, and the whistle blows. And now BYU's in the double bonus.
This is what you want if you're the Cougars. Force the issues, get the free throws. You've been struggling from the outside. Hopefully you can get to the line and manufacture some offense down the stretch.
First free throw tonight for Saunders, and he connects. Just a 68% foul shooter on the year. Granted, limited attempts to this point. 2 big free throws here with under 2 to play.
Texas Tech has gotten very deliberate their last 4 or 5 possessions, going to Williams and then playing out of that double team. BYU staying in this zone.
Now a single backside and a seat here in Provo. Williams passed it up to McMillan for the bucket. What vision by Williams.
What an unselfish play. He'd been calling his own number, but right there, give them a lot of credit for finding the open man and not just standing around and watching him go to work.
Traore down low against Federico. Williams trying to help. And Mag cleans it up.
Mag has had some huge plays for the Cougars down the stretch. None bigger than that one right here. You almost feel like this is a must-stop for BYU as they go to their man-to-man defense.
Mag on Darian Williams. Demon shading over. Williams the spin and the finish with a foul. Darian Williams cannot be guarded.
Ted, the holidays are over and school is back in session. And that is Professor Williams educating you on the one-on-one. This is NBA stuff right here. They've gone to him 4 or 5 times, whether it's been assists, jump hooks in the post, he has delivered. And that play right there was so huge for Texas Tech. They've been riding him all afternoon, all evening, trying to get across that finish line.
And Williams misses it, but a rebound by Federico.
And that's costly because it's going to cost them 15 seconds of defense.
And a foul on the perimeter with 37.9.
2-possession game, you can't give up offensive rebounds because the clock is not your friend right now if you're the Cougars.
1-and-1 opportunity now for Texas Tech. And Hawkins will step up. What a night he's put together with a career-high 6 threes. But it's his first trip to the foul line in this game. And you see the numbers, very good at the stripe this season. 21 of 23. Can Hawkins hit with the rock behind the basket? He'll have one more.
Still a 2-possession game. Shot selection very important for the Cougars. They want to get something quick, perhaps even get to the free throw line if they can. We had a lane violation.
Wow.
Again.
So Hawkins has another crack at it.
And that is going to be on Traore. The official saying he got in early.
Let's take another look.
Traore very early. That left foot came across the line before the ball was even released.
And Texas Tech has matched its largest lead. Oh, through the hands of Hall, taken by Hawkins. Costly turnover.
The offensive rebound on the free throws. The turnover against that, I don't even want to call that pressure. It was just kind of a matchup. Costly mistakes for the Cougars down the stretch. But more importantly, got to give credit where credit is due. Darian Williams with a monster second half. Huge buckets.
And really a monster last, I would say, 6 to 7 minutes. After the scoring drought to start the second half. This is the front end of the 1-and-1 here. A lot of fans are filing out as Hall calls the timeout with 23 seconds. More than 17,000 on hand, and many are headed for the exits. And the reason why, Darian Williams here in the second half.
Darian Williams has put the team on his back the final 7 minutes of this one. Strong takes to the basket. We talk about his upper body strength, his body control, a complete collegiate basketball player. There you see him knocking down the outside shot. What has he not done down the stretch for the Red Raiders? Unstoppable on the block, in the paint, from beyond the arc, and ones, free throws. He's done it all. Huge game for him. We knew he was this type of player. And I asked their coach, I said, who's your guy? Who's the guy that you go the way he goes? And before I even finished the sentence, he said Darian Williams.
Grant McCaslin has called him the heart and the soul of the team. Goes back to last year as the team made the tournament, and absolutely the case this year. Saunders catch and shoot. Federico clears it for Tech. And a foul with 15.6 to send Chance McMillan to the line. You know, the other thing that's impressive about this second half, Corey, is Texas Tech has done this without much from J.T. Toppin.
Not much from Toppin as he was saddled with foul trouble, but Toppin had his hands full with Traore in the paint, Keita banging around, so they were able to play without his services and still try to scratch out a win. And then, not to put too fine a point on it, 9 missed free throws for the Cougars in a game that was a 6 or 7 point game. It's going to end up with a different score, but you really understand how important games like how important things like that are in a game like this.
Oh, BYU couldn't control the rebound, and frustration evident from Yegor Demin.
And when they go back to watch this film, they're only going to need to watch the final 5 or 6 minutes of this game. The mental mistakes, the turnovers, the missed free throws, it'll be obvious to them what cost them tonight as they get ready for their next game.
Yeah, at TCU on Saturday. Demin, oh, 3-ball finally falls from him. He was 0 of 4 before that one. And that puts a bow on it. Texas Tech has its best win of the season. And what a win it is here in Provo as they end BYU's 14-game home win streak.